I have an announcement to make on day 197. It is with a heavy heart and the utmost sadness that I let you all know that the Duran's Rest mod has been uninstalled. This was not an easy thing for me to do, as is evident from the fact that I kept it installed for the last 84 days despite the mod not actually working anymore. But I finally built up enough strength and courage to get rid of it. This does mean we have lost the Excalibur sword, which is deeply upsetting, so yeah, I guess we'll be using the Galaxy Sword from here on out. Aside from that, all that is left to say about Duran's Rest is I have sold pretty much everything that I have that is from the mod, and it's served us very well. I am eternally grateful to have had the opportunity to play through it. On the topic of mods, the Better Things mod has been updated to include the dishes you can get from the stall at the Desert Festival. From what I have gathered, you can't actually make these dishes or the coffee donut, as in the recipes for these items haven't been added to the game yet. Basically, they show up in the cooking collection in the main menu thingy, but they are not required for perfection. So we shouldn't encounter any issues in the whole cooking area when it comes to achieving perfection. With that out of the way, let us turn our attention to the actual gameplay now. I make a massive sale which results in me earning around 5 million gold. This gives us a total of over 11 million gold. I trade 3 tickets for an iridium sprinkler, a houseplant and bombs. Working on Krobus' friendship is a top priority of mine right now. I have been making sure to give him Stardrop teas whenever I can, on top of giving him loved gifts. In fact, I have done such a good job that I can finally trade 200 Void Essence for the Void Ghost pendant in the desert. I make a beeline for the sewers where I present the pendant to Krobus, formally inviting him to become my roommate. Truth be told, I am very much an introvert and would massively prefer to live alone, but I need the Stardrop you get for reaching 12.5 hearts of friendship with somebody. So, Krobus it is. I give a fairy rose seed to Goatherd, hoping that I would get a flower seed in return, but I did not. I'm taking this as a sign that I need to watch a cutscene, or I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know anymore. I was desperately trying to remain optimistic at this point, but truth be told, I was getting very burned out, and I honestly wasn't having fun with this playthrough anymore. Which sucks, because this playthrough has been a blast, but from fall of year 2 onwards, I just found myself feeling more and more stressed and frustrated. I'm being a bit sour right now, I will admit. I know I'm acting like a lemon with how sour I am, but I want to be completely transparent with how I feel about how this playthrough is going. That being said, I did buy not just 1, not just 2, or 3, or 4, or even 5, but 6 obelisks. The mountain, ocean, desert, island, ridgeside village and East Scarp obelisks have all been added to our farm. So that cheered me up a bit. I cook the fish tacos, super meals and pepper poppers that are needed for the final bundle before tossing void salmon and slimejack fish into a bait maker. This will make it easier and quicker to catch both of these fish. The reason why I'm going to catch them is because I need both of them for the final bundle in the abandoned Joja Mart, just like the dishes I cooked earlier. I get started on crafting every item. I got through the first 2 pages before taking a break. I donate 20 super meals, 15 fish tacos, 30 pepper poppers, 15 void mayonnaise, 25 battery packs, 5 dwarf gadgets and a magic rock candy. All that is left is 15 caviar, 10 gold star void salmon and 20 slimejack fish. I'm going to ignore the 10 star shards. I had some challenge bait, so I used that as I spent the remainder of the night fishing. Day 198 begins with some good news as the tree saplings I bought from the Nightingale Orchard shop have started producing fruit. We still have a long way to go before we have enough for the cooking recipes and the exotic ingredient special orders, but this is a massive step in the right direction. I return to the spot where I tossed her grandma's charm into the water. This time I toss a sweet gem berry in the water instead. Ray appears and thanks us for giving her the sweet gem berry. She bestows a blessing upon us as a thank you. We have been given a +5 speed boost. How lovely. I toss some eggs into the fridge in the saloon to complete a special order for Gustavo. I will always do what I can to help him out. The rest of the day, as well as day 199, is spent catching void salmon and slimejack. This ended up being a quick and easy task thanks to the void salmon and slimejack bait I'm able to make. Day 200 begins with the collection of fruit from our tree saplings. I need to make sure I harvest this stuff every 3 days minimum, as each tree can hold a maximum of 3 fruit. I donate the slimejack and the void salmon I caught to the final bundle, and it is with great pride and so much excitement that I let you all know that we now only need caviar. 15 caviar to be exact, which is going to take a while to get our hands on, but still, we're almost finished the final bundle. I asked Robin to add a second pond to the farm. I already have an existing pond with a sturgeon in it, and this pond is destined for the same fate. It too shall be a sturgeon pond. I go ahead and cook a ton of dishes, not all of them of course, as we still need to unlock a few, but substantial progress was made in this area today. I toss one of each fruit we've received from our new tree saplings into the shipping bin and teleport to Ginger Island. Then I immediately change my mind and teleport to the mountain area instead. I enter the mines where I spend some time on the lower floors defeating doggies to complete that goal, before spending the remainder of the night in the volcano dungeon taking on magma sprites. Day 201 is a Friday, which means the traveling cart has come to town. Nothing of real interest to me is being sold though, except of course for the Stardrop tea. I feel like now is a good time to take a look at what we have left to do to achieve perfection. We need to ship a few more items, build the golden clock, max out, I don't know how many more friendships we have left to max out. I've just been sending gifts to the villagers and talking to any of them that I see. I don't have it in me to actually pay attention to the whole friendship thing, but hey, look, we're at 89% in this area, so we're doing something right, at least. I need to obtain one more star drop, I think. I know for a fact I need to get the star drop for catching every fish, but I can't remember if I've gotten Krobus to 12.5 hearts of friendship yet. There's a lot going on, alright? I've got one brain cell functioning right now and it's fighting for its life, so I apologize for not being able to go into too much detail in regards to this whole star drop area. Anyhoomst, I need to cook a few more dishes, craft 2 or 3 more items, and catch 1 more fish. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Let's take a look at some of the collections. Up first is the shipping collection. We've shipped everything on the first 2 pages. On page 3, the first 3 items we're missing are the 3 flowers from East Scarp. The 4th is the fox bloom from Ridgeside Village. Next is the golden egg, which we can get from Marnie thanks to the Better Things mod. The next 2 items can be bought from Emily's shop in the saloon during spring or summer, I want to say. So we have to wait until this season ends in order to be able to get those. The last 2 items on this page are golden mayonnaise and ostrich mayonnaise, both of which have been added by the Better Things mod. Then on the 4th and final page, we've got but 1 item left to ship. The powder melon. I planted seeds for this crop in the greenhouse, but I haven't been watering it. I don't have an excuse or a reason, I just forgot about it. Next, let us take a look at the fishing collection. Like I said, we've caught all but 1 fish. I need to make some more progress with the storyline involving Rosa and the abandoned orchard in East Scarp before I can get access to this fish. So we're guaranteed to get it, I just don't know when we're going to get it. Last but certainly not least is the cooking collection. I've cooked every recipe I've unlocked. Let's talk about the first 4 items that are missing from the second page of dishes. These are the 4 recipes that are given to us for completing the exotic ingredient special orders for each season in Ridgeside Village. These are also the final 4 recipes I need to cook. I know the final item on the second page is also missing. That is the coffee donut. You can't actually get the recipe for this item as of me writing the script for this video. The same goes for the missing items on the 3rd page. These are the food items from the Desert Festival. I assume the recipes for these dishes will be added when the Better Things mod is updated in the future. Or maybe the recipes will be added to the game already by the time this video comes out? Who knows? Alright, enough rambling, let's get back to the gameplay. I crack open some mystery boxes to begin day 202. This was just an excuse to delay the socializing I must participate in today. Speaking of which, I visit Aideen, who is dealing with quite the kerfuffle. She has received a call from somebody named Frederick. She and Freddy used to be in a relationship together, but that was in the past and he is now betrothed. I did not know what that word meant, so I googled it and it means engaged. Betrothed. That's a wonderful word, it's like a waterfall of letters. Anyway, back to the situation at hand. Frederick has asked Aideen to provide the flowers for his engagement party, I assume. This has made Aideen wonder when she is going to meet the right person and get into a relationship with them. Yeah, I don't know who that's going to be, but I can tell you for a fact it will not be me. I just want that one flower seed from you, that's all I want. Speaking of flower seeds, I've got some bad news on day 203 as Gotthard still has not given me either of the 2 flower seeds we can get from him. I have even worse news as I can now work on my friendship with one of his goats. Fantastic. I'm feeling incredibly lazy on day 204. I channel this laziness and turn it into genius as I plop a couple of preserve jars behind the chest that is linked to the ponds. Now, whenever our sturgeons produce roe, it will go into the preserve jars and be turned into caviar automatically. Over in Ridgeside Village, I accept the winter version of the exotic ingredients order. It is imperative that I get this done. This one doesn't require any fruit from the trees though. We need 20 Sierra Wintergreen, which is a foraging item, and 20 Frost Clump Berries, which is also a foraging item. I have been foraging like my life depends on it for a good while now, so I've got plenty of each already. On top of that, I need 1 jellyfish along with 5 mountain whitefish. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this is the easiest of the 4 special orders, so I'm glad we're starting off with this one. I am in an ocean of joja berries on day 205. It is so incredibly satisfying harvesting hundreds, and I mean hundreds of this item every single time. I'm going to miss this when this playthrough ends. Also, there's really not a lot for me to talk about for the remainder of winter, so I'm gonna condense it down. Days 206 through 224 are spent doing the following. Taking all of my joja berries, wow, that's a lot. Like, I know I planted hundreds of these things, but I didn't think I'd have over 6,000 joja berries. These get tossed into the shipping bin, resulting in a delicious 5 million gold being added to our bank account. I continue to give Krobus gifts and check on the raccoons. Now they want moss and 2 sea urchins. So I give them moss and 2 sea urchins. Stardrop tea. I receive a stardrop from Krobus. Now we only need the stardrop for completing the fishing collection. From good news to great news, the golden clock has been added to the farm. It cost 10 million gold, so normally getting the golden clock is impressive, but let's be honest. The massive greenhouse full of joja berries made it so much easier to get the gold for the golden clock. So it's not exactly impressive that I bought this clock. Powder melons have grown, so I harvest those. That's another item for the shipping collection ticked off the list. It finally happened after I don't even know how long. I entered the abandoned orchard in East Scarp and a cutscene played. I meet Rosa and we enter the house here. An absolute behemoth-sized amount of lore is dropped on us during this cutscene, as it turns out that Rosa can see and hear the Junimo in this house. Rosa believes the Junimo was trying to tell us that something is hidden under the bookcase. We move it out of the way and discover a trapdoor. I try my best, but I'm unable to open this trapdoor. Rosa says we should come back tomorrow with some oil. That is a really good plan. Just not for me. You see, I am impatient. Very impatient. So I decide to go back to the house myself with some oil on that exact same day. This time the game itself recommended I come back tomorrow with a sword. Again, that's a good plan, just not for me, as I am very, very impatient. I went right back into the house on the exact same day and opened the trapdoor. I found myself in an area called the Smuggler's Den. I defeated the monsters here, then I walked into a door and ended up in the mines. I couldn't get back into the Smuggler's Den from the mines, so I used a warp totem to go back to East Scarp. Upon entering the den, I cast my fishing rod into the water here and catch the red herring. I cannot even begin to describe how much of a relief it is that I can finally say I have caught every single fish. A weight has truly been lifted from my shoulders. My soul actually feels at peace. William sends us the final star drop we need as a reward for all of our hard work. I could actually cry right now, not even joking or exaggerating, like I could legitimately cry, that's how happy I am. I toss an ostrich mayonnaise into the shipping bin and realize a new villager has been added to the villagers page. Zane is his name. You remember Maeve, the wealthy woman who lives in the mansion in Richside Village? Anton worked for her family and was building a house for them, and then it all went wrong and he lost everything? That Maeve? Yeah, Maeve is Zane's grandmother. I'm going to be completely upfront with you all. I can feel the dopamine leaving my body every single time a new villager is added. At this point, I don't want to deal with any more people. Please just let me work on the remaining friendships in peace. Stop adding more people to the game. Goatherd is saying goodbye to one of the goats. Unfortunately, it is time for them to move on, if you know what I mean. That's tremendously sad. Like, unironically, no jokes, that is sad, and I feel bad for the goat and Goatherd. That being said, and this might be a bad time, but can I please get some flowers? I tossed the items needed for the exotic ingredient special order into a box in Pika's house. That is one of 4 completed. I can now buy the recipe for the winter dish at a stall in Pika's outdoor restaurant. Gio needs our help. He wants to buy some goods at the town's grocery store. This store is owned by... I almost said his name. I'm glad I didn't. It's owned by Caroline's husband. Gio refuses to go back into the shop as Caroline's husband asked too many questions the last time he went in and was just all around a complete nuisance to deal with. You know what, Gio? I was unfamiliar with your thoughts on Caroline's husband. We may end up being friends after all. I'm sure I've made it very clear how I feel about the owner of the shop, considering how I've actively avoided saying his name during this entire 2nd year. And sure, Gio and I haven't exactly been friendly with each other. In fact, he has stated multiple times that he doesn't trust me. But I'm willing to take one for the team here and go into the shop for Gio so he doesn't have to deal with he who shall not be named. Another cutscene featuring Gio is up next. A spirit approaches me. It thanks me for freeing it. Gio comments that the spirit is grateful to me. And so is he. He has his reasons for wanting to visit the spirit realm, and now he can thanks to the work that we've done. Gio calls me a good friend before leaving. I might just end the playthrough here, to be honest. Like, that's it. That's the big moment. That's the climax. The crescendo, dare I even say. Nothing is going to top the moment when Gio called us not just a friend, but a good friend. Even achieving perfection won't be as big a deal as this. That being said, I am still going to achieve perfection. It would be kind of silly if I did stop here. Mr... I can't pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try it. The scientist has shown up at our house. He has found a way to destroy the growth and save Richside Village. He needs our help to do so and tells us to follow him. I'm going to be honest here, I have no idea what he's talking about. I've skipped every one of his cutscenes. The short version is he can destroy the growth, whatever that is, but in order to do so, he needs to have flowers or fruit growing in the soil here. Again, I don't know what's going on. But I choose flowers as it means there will be a chance to find the fox bloom flower in this room at some point. I'm sorry I can't explain more about what's going on with the scientist, I just didn't pay attention at all. It sounds like everything is fine though, so whatever was happening is now solved. Stardrop tea. I buy the winter dish cooking recipe, then I go searching for the room I was in during that cutscene with the scientist. It turns out it's over here behind this house. This is very well hidden and I would not have found it if I hadn't read the Richside Village wiki page. No flowers are growing yet, but we should start seeing growth here during the next few days, I imagine. I accepted a special order from the scientist. He wanted 30 Omni Geodes. I'm very glad I accepted this order and even more glad that I actually gave him the Omni Geodes as the reward for completing it was the crafting recipe for the Ridgeside Village Warp Totem. And here we are on day 224, the final day of winter and the final day of our 2nd year. I send gifts to the little goat that hangs out with the goat herd, along with apples, Josephine, Zane, and the Emperor. The Emperor is a duck in East Scarp, by the way. Stardrop tea. So, like I said, the end of winter is here, and unfortunately there's still not much I can talk about at this point. I'm essentially playing the waiting game to get the last 3 cooking recipes from the exotic ingredients special orders, the final crafting recipe from Caroline's special order, a few flowers from Richside Village and East Scarp, and some items from the Better Things mod, on top of getting 5 more villagers to max friendship. So, rather than dilly-dally, I will just condense the remaining days down into one segment. The following things happened during day 225 through day 367. Wow, that's a lot of days. Grandpa visited us in our dreams and told us he is very proud of us. Apparently we have done a fantastic job at building the legacy of the farm he gave us. I accept the spring exotic ingredient special order. I need 1 fish, 10 of 2 fruits each that we can get from our trees in the greenhouse, and 20 mountain arugula, which is a foraging item. This is absolute light work considering I already have all of these things. I have no luck getting either of the 2 flower seeds from Goatherd. All I can do here is keep talking to him and giving gifts to the goat that lives with him. A montage plays of me and Torts going around the town getting into all sorts of mischief and hijinks together. Torts has been a cool character. I'm gonna be sad when I go back to playing without him in the game in the future. I find a vintage ruby ring in the smuggler's den. I imagine Rosa will be interested in this item. Sure enough, I bring it to her and she doesn't really have much to say about it. Oh, well, I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. The Rosa storyline continues past this cutscene as we head into the house together and venture down into the smuggler's den. I think at this point it's safe to say that the storyline has concluded. Maybe I'm missing something, but right now I feel confident in saying we're done here. The wizard visits the farm and lets us know that someone new will be coming to Stardew Valley tomorrow. This person will be the wizard's apprentice. I barely had time to process this information before something absolutely incredible happened. I entered the abandoned house south of where the goatherd lives. You know, the big field with the cave. Yeah, just south of there. And when I went inside the house, I saw Goatherd. He tells me that he built this house himself for his girlfriend. Well, now she's his ex-girlfriend. According to Goatherd, she was wild and free, and he thought that him building her this house would be enough for her to settle down with him. He was wrong. She left him. He doesn't want the house he built to go to waste though, so he gives us a list of materials. If we bring him these materials, he will be able to repair the house for us. I immediately toss the materials he needs into the box here. Switching lanes now, let us pivot to the wizard's new apprentice. Morgan is their name and magic is their game. Yeah, the wizard is teaching them magic. For them, it's an exciting experience and a change of pace from their old lifestyle. For us, it is yet another villager whose friendship we need to max out. Back to the goatherd, he has finished repairing the house. He talks a bit more about his ex-girlfriend. He says he hoped things would turn out different, but he knew deep down that he just wasn't destined to find his forever relationship. That's very sad, like seriously very, very sad, but we have just received another house, so I'm happy. I give dried mushroom and 5 white algae to the raccoons and receive the Book of Stars in return. Sweet. This would give us a bit of XP for all of our skills, but we've already maxed out every skill, so I'll just hold on to this book. I give a blue jazz seed to the goatherd and do not receive a flower seed. I feel like we're getting close to getting those seeds though, I just have a good feeling about it. Caroline has given us a special order. She wants us to find and ship 100 pieces of ginger. The reward for this is the final crafting recipe I need. The solar panel crafting recipe. So it is vital that I get this done. Fortunately for us, it is really easy to get a few pieces of ginger every single day by digging up spots on the farm and at the dig site. Bonus tip, use your pickaxe on the spots you dig up in order to turn the soil back to normal. That way there's a chance ginger could appear in that spot again the following day. I give coconut jelly and dried strawberries to the raccoons and receive a Stardrop tea in return. I will take any and all Stardrop teas I can get my hands on, as I know for a fact that we're going to meet another 2 or 3 villagers before this playthrough is over. I donate 15 caviar to the final bundle, completing it. The abandoned Joja Mart will be turned into a theatre overnight. We've also officially completed every bundle in the Challenging Bundles mod. Please just give me the flower seeds. The hunt for pieces of ginger has officially concluded, as I've gathered a total of 101. These are tossed into the shipping bin. With Caroline's order completed and the final crafting recipe unlocked, I make the solar panel. We have now crafted every item in the game. I won't lie, I'm tired. I just want this playthrough to end. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into when I started this. I bit off way more than I can chew. I'm not giving up though. I have to finish this playthrough. Nay, I have to finish this story. Belinda talks to Ray about an extremely strong magical aura that she's noticed in the valley on the last day of every season. Ray and Belinda investigate the room the scientist brought us to, where the growth was destroyed and the flowers are now growing in that room. I was convinced the magical aura that Belinda was talking about was the fox bloom flower. I was wrong. The actual source of the magical aura was the single biggest curveball that has ever been thrown my way. No joke, no exaggeration. This is the biggest plot twist. You will not believe what the magical aura source is. They enter Tort's little house, and I don't know how to describe what exactly is going on here. Torts isn't just a turtle, no, he's a guardian of this planet. He says that when this realm was created, he and his family were given the responsibility of protecting it. So he's protecting an entire realm, right? I guess he's not just a guardian of the planet, he's more like a guardian of the galaxy. Do you get, that's, sorry. That reference was just too good to pass up though. I've never actually seen the Guardians of the Galaxy movies now that I think about it. That might have to change. With that absolutely life-changing news revealed to us about Torts, it is back to our regularly scheduled programming. I find a fox bloom. This is a beautiful find. We need this for the shipping collection. I immediately toss this mythical flower into the shipping bin. I don't want to risk somehow being knocked out with it in my inventory in case I lose it. I buy the animal catalogue from Marnie. Reading this book allows us to access Marnie's shop even when she's not at home. I'm sure this book will prove to be invaluable for a lot of people, considering how many times I've seen people complain about Marnie not being at our house. Myself included in that. We can adopt another pet, so I decide to spend 500,000 gold on a purple turtle. I call it Turtle. I ask Robin to add another water bowl to the farm. Gotta make sure Turtle has access to some delicious hydration. I bump into a new character at the beach. I have not officially met them before now, which means we have another person who we need to reach max friendship with. That being said, because I've maxed out my friendship with almost everybody else, every quest at the bounty board is now from this character. So that's going to be a ton of easy friendship points. I accept the summer exotic ingredients order, then I finally get a new cutscene with Goatherd. He's growing some flowers. I say these flowers are beautiful, hoping that this will butter him up and encourage him to give us the 2 seeds he has. He starts explaining what the flowers are, but respectfully, Goatherd, I really don't care, just give me the seeds. I give him a tulip seed and get nothing in return. Wow, thank you. Moving on quickly now, I accept and complete more jobs for easy friendship points before checking how close I am to perfection. 99%. I just have to finish the shipping collection, max out a few more friendships, and cook the summer and fall dishes that I'll get for the exotic ingredients orders. We are so close. We can do this. I know we can. I give a fairy rose seed to Goatherd and he gives me one of the new flower seeds in return. There's a lot I could say right now, but I shall simply leave it at this. In the most positive way possible, it's about time. Like really, we waited so long for these flower seeds, it's really about time that we got them. I planted in the house Goatherd gave us, then I give spangled seeds to Goatherd the following day. He gives us the second flower seed in return. Again, it's about time. I planted this flower seed, and I should probably mention both of these new seeds were planted in the spots that had hyper speed grow on them. just to get the flowers as soon as possible. I put my Stardrop teas to good use as I send one to Morgan, the Emperor, and Zane. Then I give a bunch more to Morgan and invite them to the theater. We watch the Journey of the Prairie King movie. Morgan likes the movie and loves the Stardrop sorbet I bought them, which is very good for us because that is some bonus friendship points with them. Both of the flowers Goatherd gave us are ready for harvest. I, for some reason, forgot that the third flower seed is given to us by Aideen. I thought Goatherd gives it to us. I am embarrassed, quite frankly, of how long it took me to realize I was wasting my time here. Zane's friendship has been maxed out, so that's some good news to offset my kerfuffle with the third flower seed. That should have been the last friendship taken care of, but no. I'm stuck on 98% when it comes to friendships. I did some investigating and it turns out a Junimo called Luma was sort of added to the East Scarp mod, but wasn't actually fully implemented. I had to enter the following code into the SMAPI console that opens when you run Stardew Valley with mods installed. It should be on the screen right now, but I'll also put it in the description just to make it a bit easier if anybody needs to do this in their playthrough or wants to do this for whatever reason. The code brought me to a room you can't get to without entering that code, as far as I know anyway. I considered downloading a mod that would let me adjust my friendship with the villagers just so I could give myself max hearts with Luma. I decided instead that I would send them gifts using the mailbox, and I can use that code to teleport to them and give them Stardrop teas. Sure, it's extra work for me, but truth be told, I'm too lazy to download and install another mod at this point. I accept the Fall Exotic Ingredients Special Order. That's right, we're in fall of year 3 at this point. I teleport to Luma and give them a rabbit's foot and a few Stardrop teas to max out their friendship. That should finally be the last friendship taken care of. I will check the perfection tracker in the walnut room later to confirm that though. But first, I would like to report that I got not just one but 2 foxbloom flowers in the room that the scientist set up for us. This is stupendous timing as Belinda wants us to bring her a foxbloom. I buy the recipe for the fall dish, go home and cook it. With a lump in my throat and tears in my eyes, I can say loud and proud that I've cooked every single dish in the game. I can also confirm that when it comes to the friendships, I have not reached max hearts with everybody. It looks like Luma the Junimo wasn't the issue after all, as we are still on 98%. While I ponder who this missing villager could be, I give a foxbloom flower to Belinda. She thanks us and tells us to shoo. That's a bit rude. I have met a new character. They're called the Empress. They're a duck. I have to max out their friendship too. Aideen has a special order for us. She wants daffodils. We have to do this. I cannot emphasize this enough. We need to get this one done. This is how we get the third flower seed. Begrudgingly, I give multiple teas to the Empress. Honestly, I am so grateful that the Better Things mod lets us buy a Stardrop tea from the traveling cart twice a week. I maybe, just maybe, might have given up on this playthrough if I didn't have access to that splendiferous tea twice a week. I deposit 15 daffodils in a box in Aideen's house, completing her special order. I look forward to receiving the third flower seed for doing this. Also, I think I figured out who the missing villager is. It's Scarlet. She's friends with Sophia and appears in a couple of her cutscenes. We can only become friends with her though after watching Sophia's 8-heart cutscene. I've been all over the place ever since day 225 began, and now is no different, as I would like to immediately pivot away from Scarlet and the friendship kerfuffle and instead show this lovely cutscene of the raccoons having a jolly good time. It really does warm my heart to see them thriving like this. Aideen has sent us sunflower seeds as a token of her gratitude for completing the special order to give her the daffodils. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. No. Absolutely not. That's not how this works, no way. I make a beeline for Aideen's home where the universe decided to shine a light on my life. Aideen gives us the Bird of Paradise flower seed. I replace a Joja Berry seed with this flower seed. I am very excited if you couldn't tell from my voice. I should really calm down. I know I just exude enthusiasm. I would like to quickly point out that at this point we're now in spring of year 4. Yeah, year 3 is over. I skipped winter of year 3 entirely because literally nothing important or interesting happened. I watched Sophia's 8-heart cutscene. This is a really lovely cutscene as it shows Sophia walking around town. She's interacting with the other villagers and smiling and having a good time. It's nice seeing her mental health improve, and the cherry on top of this marvelous cake is we can now work on our friendship with Scarlet. On the 3rd day of summer in year 4, I harvest the Bird of Paradise flower. I give the highest quality goat's milk to Scarlet along with, you guessed it, Stardrop tea. I tossed the Bird of Paradise flower into the shipping bin. And so here we are, day 4 of summer in year 4, aka day 368 overall. The only thing in the way of achieving perfection is the shipping collection. We currently have 99% of the collection complete. So what is it we have left to ship? 2 items, a golden egg and golden mayonnaise. Golden mayo is produced by tossing a golden egg into a mayo machine, so we need 2 golden eggs. These 2 items were added as a requirement for the shipping collection by the Better Things mod. Now this might get confusing, so I'm going to explain this as carefully as I can. I was under the impression that you had to achieve perfection in order to be able to buy a golden chicken from Marnie. But in order to achieve perfection, we need the golden egg that is produced by the golden chicken. So it was a paradox of sorts. In my mind, I was locked out of achieving perfection. It could not be done is what I thought. It turns out there was an option in the Better Things mod to add the golden chicken to Marnie's shop without achieving perfection. I did not know this. However, I think my solution to this is an acceptable one given what was going through my mind at the time. I uninstalled the Better Things mod before continuing to day 369. This meant I had achieved 100% perfection as I no longer had to ship the golden egg and golden mayonnaise. With perfection achieved, I head to the summit on day 370. Mayor Lewis is there and we have a lovely conversation about how he is a terrible mayor and really needs to start putting in actual work and being kinder to certain villagers. At this point, we've technically achieved perfection. But we're not done yet. No, we still need to achieve true perfection. With that in mind, I install the Better Things mod again and head to Marnie's on day 371 and ask her to add a couple of golden chickens to the farm. We are just waiting for them to produce golden eggs now, so let's jump ahead to day 374. I toss a golden egg into a mayonnaise machine. Once again, let's jump ahead to day 385. The golden mayonnaise was ready before today, but I had to wait until today for a large golden egg to be produced. I tossed the large egg and the mayo into the shipping bin. On day 386, the game lets us know that we have completed the shipping collection. A trip to the walnut room reveals that we have achieved true perfection. And with that, this playthrough is finished. What a wild ride it has been. My overall thoughts are year 1 was incredibly fun. Spring through fall of year 2 was also incredibly fun. Winter of year 2 onwards kinda resulted in me feeling the most burned out I've ever felt while playing Stardew Valley. But let's not dwell on that. Let's focus on the fact that we've made it to the end. I'll keep this short as I've already spent way too much time talking in this video. All in all, I'm pleased with how this went. All of the mods I used during this playthrough will be linked in the description. Good luck to you if you decide to do your own playthrough with any and or all of these mods installed. At the very least, I hope you have a good time with them. And with that, it is time for me to bid you all adieu. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.